Right, welcome to this week's episode, another episode of Minis and Bikers. Don't forget to like and
Minis and Bikers?
Minis and what? What did I call it?
Bikers?
Minis and Bikers.
You're not doing another channel without me, are you?
Give the game away there, didn't I? Right, Minis and Motorbikes.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Minis and Motorbikes. Don't forget to hit the button at the bottom to like and subscribe, all that sort of thing, and make sure you get the name of the channel right. Now, what are we doing? What are you doing?
Subframing today. It might be a bit higgledy-pickledy, but we will get it in.
Higgledy-pickledy?
Yeah, we will get it in. And the brake lines as well, I've lost.
Because you're going to try and do it all on your own, didn't you, while I'm filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, try and lift it all up.
The brake lines I know I'm going to have trouble with because I've lost a load of pictures and I didn't take enough pictures and I didn't take enough pictures of anything. I just took it for granted it'd be a piece of cake, and of course it's not, is it?
Oh, it might be. You don't know yet. No. It might just all slot in and all look terrific. Terrific.
Well, we'll all sort all that out. It's all got to be sorted out, but I wanted to get them in because the brake lines run underneath the subframe to come up the front of the car. So we needed to get the subframe in first before we, the brake line's done before we got the subframe in. So then they're in the right place.
You won't be able to get them in.
Yeah, and I can jiggle it about afterwards then. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah,
and then we also have a look at the wiring loom, don't we?
Yeah.
You feed the wiring loom through tonight?
Yeah, it's all fed through and put where it should. There's some bits we're going to cut out, which we're going to discuss in it. So.
Yeah. All right, well, let's crack on then, shall we?
Yeah, come on.
Let's crack on. Here's the logo, and we'll see you in a minute. Yeah. Oh, hi.
Oh,
hey.
Nice of you to turn up.
Yeah,
just roll in while the rest of us are doing something.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd make an effort. What have you been up to then?
A little bit more on the subframe and also the wiring loom, and I've been playing with the brake lines as well, trying to figure out where they go. The front end, the wiring loom's still not quite 100% sure where it all goes. There's one bit in particular, but the rest of it's all worked out.
Right.
That's it, really.
But let's start down here then, because this is where we left off last week.
We took the old ones off, the old front trailing arms, and we stripped the rubber bushes out, the old normal rubber bushes and metal bit out, ready for these all singing, all dancing caster adjustment ones.
But them ones are going in, those ones down there, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's staying as a set, so that you can whip them on and whip them off. We
just put a standard Comline one on, and we put the back plate in. I greased up the silicone grease, the little aperture that went the back arm of that wishbone, and then put the thingy nut in it, and then I put I can't remember what they're bloody called. I'm terrible with names, that bit there. That's not a standard bit. If you look at that bush, look, there's a gap behind it, that metal plate. Well, if that was a standard one, that would be flat on that metal work of that bush. So it'd be flat on there, but because of this one's got longer arms on it, that's given us a different camber angle on the front. Right. Because I want.
So the bottom of the wheels are wider from the car than the top.
Yeah, so it pushes it out and gives you that slight camber.
Right.
But we're going to put more camber on it anyway.
And is that also picked up obviously by that bit there? Look, that different bit there.
No.
Because that looks like that's not standard. That looks like it should be flat, and that's just no. But no, they all come like that, do they?
I think I think you're right. Actually, I think that is slightly different, but that's because it is pushed out, and obviously that's to give that breathing room underneath on that wishbone when it moves up.
All right.
Up and down.
So it just changes the whole setup.
Yeah, whole setup. So you've got more camber. So then you're not doing all the because you got your top turret on your suspension, so you're not doing all the camber adjustment on that.
Right, and putting undue stress.
Yeah, so then it's not.
Like
on the drive shafts and everything, because basically by doing that, you see, it's give us a little bit of camber at the bottom. It's altered it at the bottom by altering that there instead of altering it on the top mount. So then the shock in theory is straighter as well, so it'll be working better.
And then the unboxing you did last week, that was for
drop links. Drop links, which go from the anti-roll bar and then onto the shock absorber, the leg of the shock absorber. But I haven't tightened it up because I can't remember until we got the shock in whether that faces towards the front or it faces towards the back. Right. So it might be flipped round.
So for now you just put the one in, you don't do on the other side.
Yeah, so that just keep the wheel, it just stiffens that front end, keeps the wheel on the ground, stops it flexing and everything else.
But now, you reckon you're all fit and ready?
I am. I mean, the
subframe.
The heat shield needs sorting out and a bit of fettling where that goes up the bulkhead. But I think we can still get the subframe on and we can sort that out afterwards. I've got a couple of brake lines to get in because I think it might be easier to do it while the subframe's off. And I'll just take them out, I'll just clip them out the way. And they've got to be neatened up as well because one of them is slightly bent, so we've got to sort that out. But other than that, I think we're all right actually.
Right, so
now
you can just lift it up. I know you had to do some more work on it though.
Yeah, I bought the bolts, the proper bolts for it, the flange bolts. They're not Torx bolts, but the flange bolts, and they fit because they're flange bolts. You can actually get a spanner on them and tighten them up. So they're sort of tight. I haven't torqued them up properly yet.
Right. And then when you do,
I haven't torqued them up properly yet because obviously being a racing car is slightly different. Because once you've torqued everything up, we tend to mark it with a pen, with a dot, just a dot to line it up, or align the nuts up to see. You know, we call it a spanner check. It's obvious, really. And then after every test session or race or qualifying or whatever, you go around with a set of spanners and you just spanner check it
and with the white lines on the nuts,
and you can see
got a
which
visual check.
Yeah, you can see which one's moved.
It's a quick visual check.
Yeah.
Just in case something's like vibrated a bit loose.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Now I did something very silly today as well, very stupid.
That's not like you, is it?
Well, actually, it's not when ordering stuff because I'm normally pretty on it. But I ordered it and I ordered a number of bolts that I wanted, and then it said at the bottom a deal for 6, and I thought it was a deal if you buy 6 bolts, but then they're going to send us 6 packets of bolts, so I've ordered 36 bolts. Instead of being 15 quid, it came out at 92 quid.
And you knew it was 36, didn't you? Because the 6 is a 30 feet. Because the old primary
30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah. So luckily, K's are going to let me send them back what I don't use. But I think some of them are the same length for the trailing arms on the back. So I might use them on the back. I'll have a look when we get them. I'll go through all the bolts and bits and pieces. So I've ordered new bolts for it. So we're using the old bolts for now, and then when the new bolts come, then obviously we put them on and
well, I suppose you could take one out at a time and just replace them.
Yeah.
So at least it gets it on.
And then I will torque them up when I put the new ones in. There's pointless torquing it all up when I'm going to take them all out. So
yeah, so you don't talk me up, do you? You always talk me down. Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. So. Do you need my help?
No,
or you're literally.
I'm just going to get the brake lines on at the moment, so they're out of the way and in, because I'm not sure if they're be in the way or not. I don't know. I've got no idea. So we just clip them up and put them somewhere near, and then we get the subframe on, get a jack under it, jack it up, and ugger it on.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. Right, Mark. We get these on first. I'm just going to sort of. I don't like to use the words, just bosh them in. That's all we'll be doing, because this has all got to be sorted out, all this heat shield. I've got a new bit of heat shield and bits and pieces, but it's got all be tidied up and then clipped on and use washers, because obviously where it's been used and abused as a car, it's all broken off. So we get these brake lines on first,
right,
and then let's see where we go. Again, I bought some new clips to put on them. On these here that they clip into, and of course I can't find them. I bought a pack of 10 and I can't find them, so I've got to use the old ones.
What clips are we talking about?
Brake line clips.
Oh, hang on a minute. Where are we? Up there?
Just here, look, where my finger is.
Well, I gotcha.
Yeah, let me move that out of the way. Now, that isn't the wiring loom for the exhaust. That goes onto the pump for the hydraulic pump for the steering rack. I got it wrong, but it's got to go behind those pipes basically, so I'll stick that behind there. And then we get these on. The right one? I have one. Yeah. It goes around that way. So that's on there. Just lay that up there for now, and then we tighten it up. Tighten it up. I can't remember what size it's on. It's 11, that one. Oh, make some noise. Gotta pump it up, come on and pump it up.
Yeah, don't you sing too well, we'll get a copyright strike.
Oh yeah, yeah, I was obviously in perfect pitch and key, so that'll come up as a warning.
Yeah. It might not.
None taken. Right, we've got them brake lines on where I wanted them to get on, the wire behind it. They're tightened up on the joints, but we've still got to fettle the brake lines. They need a little bit of bending, a bit of tweaking, a bit of tidying up. But yeah, that's about it. So we'll have a go at putting a subframe on.
We're going to get a subframe on?
Yes.
Right. And you can handle this? You can handle this?
I don't know yet.
Right.
I've got it off on my own.
Right.
So we'll see. I've got some bolts to take out that I've got out the packet, as it were. And then, yeah. But I have bought all new bolts for it. I just got to get these out. I took the bolts out. I've fitted them all in and worked them out. I put them all in the floor in order, so that everything's in order. So like there's 6 of one and 2 of another and 2 of another. So then you can work out roughly where they go then.
Right, so how do you reckon you're going to lift this up? I mean, I know you took it down on your own.
I don't yet. I think I used the big jack to get it down when I'm using the small jack, and I'm not sure if it'll go high enough, but we'll soon find out. Right,
so you're going to stick a jack underneath it.
Jack underneath it.
Pump it up. Yeah. Don't start singing. And then hopefully it'll balance enough for you to get the bolts up. Right, okay, right, well we'll see how you get on.
Always undo it as well and let the jack settle down. Never leave the jack that tightened up with the jack up. Just a little tip. Alright, so we'll push that somewhere close and then we'll Now, have I gone too far forward? Hopefully not. I think it's going to be high enough. It'll be right at the back, I think. It's all right at the back.
All right at the back?
All right at the back. Not high enough, Mark.
I don't think it'll be high enough.
No. Didn't quite sit right either. Probably line it up there. When I started. Because that's got a centralising pin on there. Pulse not doing that. Get this one up in here and then I'll work your way around the back then. That's it. That's it. Look at that. Right, get them all in before we tighten them up, because that's the old adage, isn't it? You know what happens, get them all in and then they don't tighten up. It's all lining up, Mark. She's in.
She's in. You happy?
Yeah, well, sort of, yeah. It's a bit messy, wasn't it? It didn't look as though I knew what I was doing, which I didn't really, I suppose.
It looked all right from where I was standing.
But we're in. It's in, and it's back together, so...
Looked all right from where I was standing.
It's got to be torqued up now, but we'll do all that once the car's sort of more or less back together, but the subframe's in, which is good. And obviously got the drop links to go on the suspension. I can't remember until we got the suspension on. I don't know if they go that way round, or... they go that way round.
Right.
I don't know. I can't remember until we got the.
Soon find out when you start doing it.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's that way round. Could put a little bet on it, couldn't we? Portion of chips.
What? Whether
which way round do you think it goes?
Whether the silver bit points to the front or points to the back?
Yeah, portion of chips.
What do you reckon?
I really don't know.
So I get first dibs then, do I?
First dibs, yeah, and I'll go whatever's left over.
I reckon they go like they are now, with that bit pointing forwards. With the top pointing forwards and the back pointing to the back.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. You think it's that way round,
Yeah.
and I think it's that way round.
Right. And a portion of chips.
Portion of chips.
Medium or large?
Large. I've got to get them in quick, haven't I? Because I've got. Oh no, I'm sort of
Yeah.
out,
If I win,
Yeah.
it's a large portion,
Yeah.
and if you win, it should be a medium portion.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know, a large portion of chips. That's probably what 2.5 seconds a lap, isn't it? Right, so thanks for watching this week's episode. Got a little bit further, subframing, and wiring loom and all that sort of.
It was a bit. It looked a bit messy, but it's in.
Excuse me for coughing.
I mean,
Yeah, well, you know.
I ain't got the gear, and the big mistake I made was not taking enough pictures. I should have took more pictures, and I should have stored them properly. I'd lost a load of them on my phone, so I couldn't find a lot of them.
Yeah, but it's on.
But the brake lines need sorting out. They need, and all the bolts need torquing up, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, no, we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're
Right,
putting something on.
We're putting something
the
on.
bag, there's getting less
something on.
bags. There's less bags with bolts in now. They're all
less stuff to lose.
they're all going. The empty bags are going in the bin. So
All right, great stuff.
in the bin.
All right,
yeah.
okay, right. So you probably know the routine by now, but
Yeah.
if you don't, over here there's going to be a playlist. I never remember what the playlist is. Over there.
Yeah, last week's episode.
And in the middle is a link straight through to the channel. All right, so you can watch all the videos we've done. So thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. See ya.